Hello everybody, it's Thursday, May 14th. I'm Stephanie Haney. Welcome back to 3 News Now. This is your early update where we bring you the top headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. We'll start this morning like we do each morning. I'll tell you the latest numbers from the Ohio Department of Health. We get these in at 2 p.m. every day. So these are the numbers related to COVID-19 here in Ohio that we received yesterday, Wednesday, May 13th at 2 p.m. So we'll tell you those numbers and then how those compare to the past couple of days and if we're seeing any kind of a trend starting to develop in terms of new cases, numbers of new deaths reported, hospitalizations, and also intensive care unit admissions. So here are those numbers as they stand from yesterday at 2 p.m. There are now a total of 25,721 cases of COVID-19 here in the state of Ohio. Those are both positive confirmed cases from people who have actually had tests and also probable cases from people who have not had tests for a variety of reasons, whether there was just not testing available or it wouldn't change their course of treatment. As we know that testing is not widely available, there is a shortage of the ingredients that are needed in order to do all of those tests. That's an increase of 471 new cases up from the previous day. So it's basically steady, but a tiny bit of a drop because we saw 473 new cases on Tuesday. So there were 2 more new cases on Tuesday than we saw on Wednesday. Monday, we saw a significant spike that was 696 new cases, up from the number of new cases that we saw on Sunday. In terms of the number of deaths, there are now 1,483 deaths related to COVID-19 reported here in the state of Ohio, again under that same expanded CDC definition. So yesterday, that was 47 new deaths. That was down. That was down from Tuesday when we saw 79 new deaths. But on Tuesday, 79 new deaths was a significant jump from the number of deaths reported on both Monday and Sunday. Monday we saw 16 new deaths, and Sunday we saw 10 new deaths. In terms of the number of people who have been hospitalized throughout the entire course of the time that we have known COVID-19 to be here in Ohio, there have been a total of 4,618 people hospitalized with COVID-19 related issues. Yesterday, that was 79 new hospitalizations reported. That was down from Tuesday as well. Tuesday, there were 126 new hospitalizations reported, which was a big jump from Monday when we saw 62 new hospitalizations, and that was also a jump from Sunday when we saw 51 new hospitalizations. Now, in terms of intensive care unit cases, the total of people throughout the entire time that we've known COVID-19 to be in Ohio who have been in the intensive care for their treatment for it is 1,248. Yesterday, we saw 16 new ICU admissions reported. That's up by 1, but pretty much on par with what we saw on Tuesday when there were 15 new ICU cases reported. Also up from Monday when we saw 12 new ICU cases reported, and a significant jump from Sunday when we saw 5 new ICU cases reported. Some news about an iconic news legend here from Cleveland. Dick Goddard is not doing well. That's according to his daughter, who has asked for prayers for the Cleveland meteorologist. Goddard's daughter, Kim, posted on Facebook on Wednesday. Very bluntly, she said, "My dad is dying, going to be off social for a while." So the 89-year-old, if you remember, he got his start in television right here in Cleveland at WKYC, but that was then called KYW. That was back in December of 1960, and that was when he appeared on Lynn Sheldon's Barnaby Show. He retired in November of 2016 from WJW, and at that point, he shifted his focus to animal advocacy, where he was instrumental in making animal cruelty a felony, and the law was named after him. That law that made animal cruelty a felony was named Goddard's Law. So according to a source close to his family, Goddard has been not well since January after a bout with pneumonia at that time, and he is currently living in Florida. We'll keep everyone updated on what's happening there on WKYC.com, also on the air and on our WKYC app. Our thoughts and prayers are definitely with the Goddard family at this time. Here in Ohio on Thursday, we get the new unemployment numbers, and we have those now for the state of Ohio. There have been 51,125 new unemployment cases reported for the week of May 9th. Some interesting news there. I don't know if we'll necessarily call it good news because things have been shut for a long time, and we know people have been having a hard time getting into the system to file for unemployment. But the number is a 16% decrease in new claims from the week prior. A week ago, Ohio reported 61,083 new unemployment claims. So over the past 8 weeks, amid COVID-19 shutting down many businesses, Ohio has reported 1,169,694 jobless claims. That is more than the combined total of jobless claims in the state of Ohio for the past 3 years combined. So the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services says it's distributed more than $2.4 billion in unemployment compensation. That's to more than 587,000 people who have filed. The agency says that they've processed 90% of those over 1.1 million claims, almost 1.2 million claims, and that they have 10% still pending. But as we look toward tomorrow, when many businesses reopen, there are many people who have filed for unemployment benefits who have still not received any of them, and they will be going back to work tomorrow. Now, the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services has made it clear that you will still be eligible for those benefits. They are backdated, so even if it's taking time for those benefits to get to you, and that's even if you are filing under the expanded pandemic unemployment assistance based on the U.S. CARES Act, that includes the 1099 employees, the part-time employees, the business owners, you will get that money. It's just a matter of when. And Ohio Department of Job and Family Services again says they still have 10% of those claims pending. But that money is supposed to be coming to you, and you will get it backdated for the full amount of time that you were out of work, according to the officials. Across the country, total U.S. unemployment claims have now hit 36 million. That's the number of first-time applicants, and that has actually declined for 6 straight weeks. So what that suggests, again, is that it is a smaller number of companies who are reducing their payrolls as this goes on. People are finally being able to get the filings in when they've had difficulty to get those in, and this is as states are now beginning to reopen businesses under certain restrictions. Of course, here in Ohio now, warehouses, most offices, factories, and construction companies can reopen. Restaurants and bars have been able to be open for takeout and carryout. Tomorrow, we'll see patio dining open. We'll also see tattoo shops open, salon services, massage services, piercing services. And then next week, we will see in-room dining open here in the state of Ohio. Other places are further along. In South Carolina, beach hotels have reopened. Texas has already reopened its shopping malls. So this total number of unemployment, 36 million, that does include the people who are eligible under the expanded pandemic unemployment assistance. Like we said, the 1099 workers, people who are newly eligible who previously could not get unemployment. And those people also, by the way, are eligible for the additional $600 per week from the federal government on top of whatever it is that your state provides in terms of your unemployment benefits. Today, we do expect Governor Mike DeWine to return to his daily 2 p.m. press conference, and we're expected to hear him talk about swimming pools and summer activities today. On Tuesday, his team said they'd be making that announcement. Also, camping and other outdoor activities will be talked about. That's something people have been asking about for quite some time now. We'll just go over a couple key dates for you to remember again as we look towards Friday, with a very different Friday ahead of us than we've seen in quite some time here in the state of Ohio. Tomorrow is the first day, again, that restaurants will be allowed to open patios for outside dining only. Tattoo parlors, of course, will be open. Salon services will be open. Massage services will be open. Earlier this week, we saw retail locations open. And then on May 21st is the day that restaurants will be allowing people to dine in. No announcements have been made regarding childcare services and gyms at this time. As we do know, schools are to be closed for in-person learning through the end of the summer, and Owners of gyms, 35 people associated with fitness facilities here in Ohio have sued Dr. Amy Acton over not having a plan for their reopening when other businesses have been able to reopen. Now, just because they can reopen, though, on Friday, restaurants for patio dining, not everyone is doing it. So if you are planning on getting out on Friday, you might want to call ahead to make sure that that restaurant will be open. For example, Chocolate Bar on by East 4th Street downtown, they will not be providing full service on the patio. So a spokesperson for Chocolate Bar, Sean Freeman, said this: they will probably have 5 or 6 tables outside, and if you would like to take your drinks and your food to go and then utilize those tables, that's probably what they'll do, but they won't be providing full service at those patio tables. Brendan Ring of Nighttown, which is near University Circle here in the Cleveland area, plans to wait until at least the 4th of July before reopening that establishment. Ring said that they will be taking a wait-and-see approach, that they could certainly open and do think that they could keep everyone more than 6 feet apart in line with the CDC guidelines for physical distancing, but they just don't think that it's time yet for that. So many restaurant owners are taking time right now to stock up on masks and hand sanitizer in an effort to be prepared for when they do reopen again, whenever that time may be, whenever that time is right for that person. Now, if you are interested in getting out and ready to hit one of those patios, we do have a guide up on WKYC.com of some places that we know will be open. There are many locations in that article if you want to check that out. Here's a couple of them that we didn't mention when we talked about this previously. Hail Mary's in Westlake will have patio services open. So will Lindy's Lake House in the Flats, Luca Italian Cuisine on Superior Viaduct, and the Nuevo Modern Mexican and Tequila Bar. That's downtown behind the Rock Hall. Those are just a couple in the Northeast Ohio in the Cleveland area that we know for sure will have patio services open. And keep in mind, if you're not quite ready to get out there for your personal self, we do also have our Love Local guide. So if you go to wkyc.com/lovelocal, you can see what businesses are open in your area that are offering takeout and delivery. If you'd like to support a local business, but you're not necessarily ready just this moment to get out into the mix and be among other people. And do also remember, employees will be required to wear masks. That's under the Stay Safe Ohio order from Governor Mike Dewine and Dr. Amy Acton. Customers will not be required, but it is strongly recommended if you are physically able to do so. And individual establishments like these restaurants might require you to do so. So also check those requirements. You don't want to get there, show up, not have your mask, and not be able to enjoy the patio that you have been looking forward to without the proper safety precautions. That's it for our early update for 3 News Now. Next up, we have 3 News Connect. That's with Jay Crawford and our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins. You can watch that on 3 News, also on WKYC.com, our WKYC app, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And I'll be back here with you at 2 p.m. with our latest numbers from the Ohio Department of Health and more top headlines from WKYC.com. I'll see you back here in a little bit. I'm Stephanie Haney.